This conference will now be recorded.
Hello. Sorry, there is some technical problem. Not here. Can you all hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Yes, we can able to hear you.
Okay, great. One second. My Bluetooth is not connected. Okay, it's connected, but oh, okay. So let me change the. So I think now we are good. Okay. So I think sorry, there is some. Uh, I couldn't actually connect at 8 o'clock, so that's why they have to reschedule to 8:30. So apologies for that. So I think we'll get started now. So first of all, thank you all for joining this demo today. So let me introduce myself. My name is Shankar. I am a Microsoft certified trainer since 2 years, and I have done close to 6 certifications in Azure so far. Includes Azure Administrator, Expert, Solution Architect, Security Engineer, and also DevOps Engineer, and then and WVD and SAP HANA. And yeah, so I think this comes around, yeah, close to, and 700 is one network oriented is also I have done. 800, this is my upcoming planning. This is about me, so I try to do as many certifications as I can, uh, very often. So I also do trainings, uh, both on Azure side as well as DevOps side, Azure DevOps side, and I also do corporate training for organizations. And along with these, I also I work for an organization as an architect. So that's about me. Mm, yeah, so that's about me. Let's actually okay. So before I get started, first of all, I want to understand how many of you know Azure, are already working on Azure.
I'm working on Azure
Since how many years?
since 1 year.
Since you're working on Azure administration side, or you're working on Azure DevOps side?
No, Azure administration side, but my company has not given major roles. Partial roles has been given, like create user accounts and groups
Hmm.
and
Okay.
scanning those things.
Mm. So you mean RBAC,
Sorry?
and then creating you mean Azure role-based access control, right? Or
Correct,
Azure
correct,
AD, Azure AD
correct.
roles as well. Okay. Cool. So anyone else? No, already know Azure, did some certification like AZ 900, and plan to expand your knowledge, or you're already working on it. Just this question is just to understand how much you guys know, so that I can actually deliver my training accordingly. So no one else, no one knows apart from one person, right? Okay, so cool. So uh, let us actually start with the cloud computing. What is cloud computing? So cloud computing is actually it's a delivery of services over an internet. So nowadays everything whatever you want you're getting over an internet, right? So let's say you want to buy vegetables, you're actually using internet to, you're actually buying vegetables from internet. Everything, you know even medicine also, you're actually buying online, right? Everything you're able to get over an internet. Similarly, IT services. So when I say IT services, it could be servers, it could be storage, it could be network, it could be analytics, anything. So all these services also you're able to get over an internet. That's called cloud computing. So you get a delivery of computing services over the internet, which of course will enable faster innovation, flexibility of resources, as well as economies of scale. Because there is a very simple reason. Most of the times we purchase things online because reason could be because you want some flexibility, or you are getting that particular product at a better price. You might include discounts, cashbacks, all those, and you might think that you might definitely consider it to purchase because you're getting it at a like better value for money, right? That's the reason you buy it. So similarly, cloud computing also, when it's delivered over internet to others, ideally I say it's not directly purchased, it's renting. Most of the things whatever you're doing is renting, like on an hourly basis renting. So you get the resources, you pay only for the hour that you've actually used it. So that's how it mainly works, right? So the major services like compute. When I say compute, I'm actually referring to CPU in memory. I hope you all know memory. Memory, I'm referring to RAM. So these are the main services, which includes compute. Then networking. Networking includes all your network bandwidth, NIC, and also downloads, uploads, all will come under this. And storage. Storage includes your disk and all types of, let's say most of us are already using cloud. Uh, in fact, we all use Google Cloud, and we also use OneDrive. If needed, sometimes we use OneDrive. See, most of our mobiles, like if you are using MI phone, you are using MI Cloud. If you are using Apple phone, you are using iCloud. And commonly, most of us using Google Cloud already. So the cloud is something we have been using since very long, but it is just that we started doing a IT professional job in cloud. So we are realizing that. So realizing the value of cloud, and slowly we are moving towards cloud in a real time, in a work life as well. So in IT side as well. So That's about cloud computing. Let me just repeat again. Cloud computing is a delivery of services, computing services over the internet, which of course enables faster innovation, flexibility of resources, and economies of scale. And let us see the top benefits of cloud computing. So the first thing is cost. So a simple example I can say is why cloud computing is cost effective, why it actually can save you some money. Very simple reason if you take, mm, so let's say anything. So you want to buy a house or a flat, for example, you want to buy a flat in wherever you want to buy a flat, and you check the estimate of the price as somewhere around 50 lakhs, example. So let's say in Hyderabad, somewhere not in city but somewhere outskirts, you want to purchase a flat, you're getting estimate of 50 lakhs, and you have another five friends, okay, five friends who also want to buy a flat, okay. So they also thought about it, and they also want to buy a flat, which again will come estimate of 50 lakhs per person, right? So including you, there will be six members who are going to spend 50 lakhs each, which will come around 3 crores. Okay. So it'll come in 3 crores. 3 crores is a huge amount. So instead, you six are good friends, and because you all want to buy a flat, then you changed the plan. You decided instead of buying one individual flat, you decided that let us actually purchase our own land, maybe 400 square yards, let's say, purchase our own land. Then let us actually to purchase this land, probably you might spend 1.5 crores, example, if you take. And let's say if you spend 1.4 crores, and then let us actually build this, uh, like apartment, example. You're actually you approach some engineer, civil engineer, and then you build it. And then probably you're spending some 80 lakhs for complete building construction and all. Probably you can go up to 1 crore as well. Okay. So even then, uh, all of you're still spending only 2.5 crores, less than 2.5 crores. You're still ending up getting a benefit of 50 lakhs. This is just a rough estimate, right? So you're still getting 50 lakhs benefit if you distribute to each of these persons. At least 8 lakhs to 9 lakhs per person will be a benefit. That's a rough estimate, right? So it is coming at economical price for you. At the same time, you have that it is coming at economical price when all of you are doing it, pooling together and doing it together. Okay. Why I'm telling this example because why I'm telling this example because in a cloud, what happens is there is one company. Most of you know data center, on-premises data center, right? So every organization will have their own data center. Every organization will have their own data center. In their data centers, they might have some hundreds of servers. Okay, they might have some hundreds of servers. For these servers, these organizations have to spend money. Like for real estate is one thing, then for security and for IT administrator to maintain the IT administration. Again, for power supply and for cooling, all these they have to spend money, right? Similarly, like this, there are some other nine organizations. Okay, let's say nine organizations. All nine organizations comes under one single business. Let's consider one single, firm, one single company. Um, then if all these nine organizations decide to not to have nine individual data centers, if all of them decide to have one single data center, big data center, one single big data center to accommodate all these 10 organizations servers. Probably you might construct a big data center, you have thousands of servers there, thousands of servers there. But of course, comparatively, 10 individual data centers, the price that you actually spend on 10 individual data center to the price that you spend on one single big data center will be very, very cost effective. So this will be like very cost effective. So when you divide this cost that you spend on one single data center with 10 different organizations, so these 10 companies will get a huge benefit, greater benefit, right? So do you agree with me? Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So now I just only told about 10 organizations. Now let's actually come to the point. If you take one single data center of Microsoft, recently they have built in Colombia, I think. So one single data center, if you consider, can you guess how many servers they maintain in one single data center, one single region or data center? Any guess? How many servers do they maintain? You can do rough estimate. Any guess should be fine. Be it less, small or big, doesn't matter. 1 lakh? Can I assume 1 lakh? 10,000. Okay, 10,000. Okay. Yes. Any other guesses? 10,000. Any other guesses? Okay, so Microsoft maintains 5 lakh servers in one single data center. 500,000. You can go to YouTube. You can go to YouTube and you can just look for this name. You can go to YouTube and look for Microsoft data center tour. You will have a very short video of 3 to 4 minutes. So I really want, I suggest you to just watch it, just to experience how a data center will look like. So they actually maintain 5 lakh servers in each data center. If you assume 5 lakh servers, let's say one customer taking 5 servers each, you're actually having one lakh customer pooled together at one place. So you can imagine how much cost benefit that you approximately will get. That is definitely a cost effective, right? You get it for a lesser price. This is just a normal logical calculation. But if you want me to explain normal scenario, let's say 15 years ago, if you want to open a startup, of course you need a website to build, right? If you want to build a website, you have to purchase one server. And for the server, ideally it takes, the money that you spend is around 4 lakhs approximately. You have to spend 4 lakhs approximately. These servers will be sold by Dell, IBM, Lenovo. I think Lenovo, IBM both are same. I think Lenovo is Technova. And then you have HP. So these are the servers that you see. So these servers, they will actually sell you at 4 lakh rupees and all. And you have to accommodate a real estate place where you can place your server. Then you have to arrange cooling and you have to arrange power supply 24/7. You also have to maintain high availability. Even if the power supply goes, you have to arrange a generator or something like that. Anything not generated, some backup power supply should be there. And then you need to have a security 24/7. At least when you say 24/7, you need 3 members, right? And then you should have IT administrator who actually install and manage IT. And then, yeah, this is the usual expenditure that you spend. So including all these, you might spend at least 8 to 10 lakhs rupees if you want to set up a server. One single server I'm talking about. Ideally, organizations will have multiple servers. Okay. Coming to cloud right now in 2021. Today, if I want to build a website, do I really have to spend 10 lakh rupees? No, right? So I can just, if I have a credit card, I can go to Azure and I can simply do a sign up. When I do a sign up, in fact, they are giving me in return $200, 200 USD. This 200 USD I will use for 28 days. Post 28 days, I will convert it as a pay as you go. Pay as you go. What does this mean? Pay as you go is nothing but while you are using, while as you go, you will pay whatever you are using. You will pay as you go. So nothing but whatever you use on hourly basis, you will be billed on a month end. You'll have to pay. So first month, anyways, I get 200 USD, which is again a free. So I don't have to spend any money. And from going forward, I'll have to spend my monthly expenditure, whatever I use. So, and how much time does it take? So this entire process will take at least a month time, 1 month minimum, 1 month time it will take. Here, how much time will it take? Approximately less than hour, less than 1 hour, I can actually build a server. You also will realize at the end of this course, not even end of the course, I think tomorrow, day after tomorrow, in few days, I'll create a VM and I'll show it to you. So you also will realize how much time does it take just to create a VM or to create a server or to create a website as well. So it takes less than an hour. I given a maximum estimate. So in fact, it takes minutes itself, but I said maximum time like less than an hour. So you see the time it takes is less, and also amount that you spend, you're getting some money in additional, and on monthly estimate, max you'll spend 10 to 20,000 per month. That's all you'll spend max to max based on your VM size. So all this 8 to 10 lakhs, the initial investment is gone. So being a startup organization, when you spend only less money, you'll have a lot of confidence. When you spend huge huge investment, you will not have that confidence. In fact, you'll go into debt. So if in 1 2 years, if this startup doesn't work well, so you'll be bankrupt. The company will be bankrupt. See here, there is no risk as such. 2 3 months, 4 5 months, you can happily work on your idea. If it works, well and good. If it doesn't work, you can close it. So because you're still not spending huge money there, right? So still worth trying out. That's why you see a lot of startup organizations are coming up, not just in India but across the globe, right? So that is a cost benefit. And then global scale. So Microsoft has 60 plus regions. I'll show you the slide next slide. So 60 plus regions. So they are spread across 140 countries, which is very huge. So you can sit in wherever you are. You can sit in Hyderabad and you can actually create a VM in US, Europe, anywhere you want. So that's another huge benefit. And performance also, you get a better performance because these cloud providers, be it Microsoft, Amazon, or GCP, they will do regular maintenance to hardware, and they will ensure that they also recycle. They'll ensure that they get a new hardware for every 3 years. They change the hardware for every 3 years, so you get a better performance in that aspect as well. In security, so these are big organizations. One question to you all: Have you why don't you see uh, small companies in starting cloud business? Leave about small companies. You have Infosys, you have TCS, you have Wipro. We also have Accenture, Cognizant, HCL. Why not these companies start a cloud business? Any guesses? Any Indian company? Why a Indian company couldn't start a cloud business? Just this is just to make you all understand. It's not we're not trying to uh, reduce. I mean, we're not trying to put anything here, but just you can do logical thinking. Why do you think this? Of course, Infosys has one cloud, which is called in Akash Cloud, but that is they're using only for internal, for their own purpose. It's not they're not using for external public, general public. So so why do you think these leave about Indian companies, small companies, any small company not starting cloud business? Why do you think so?
Because maintenance cost is
Any guesses?
very high. That's why I think.
Okay, one of the reason. Any other reason? That's it. Please be interactive. It's okay. So you can tell any answer, even if your answer is wrong, it's fine. Uh, how many people we have, by the way? We have 9 members. Good strength. Come on, then do guess. Hmm. You're saying something?
Security.
Security. Okay. Another reason. Fine. Anything else? Okay. Let's come to the point then. So the biggest thing is investment. Initial investment. So all these you see only Microsoft, Amazon, Google. These are top 5 companies. Do you agree? These are all top 5 companies. So as of now, these companies are very successful in cloud. Of course, we have other clouds: IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud, Alibaba Cloud. There are other companies, but the successful cloud business are these. Because when you want to do a successful cloud business, you should be ready to invest huge money. Why do you need huge money? To build a 60 plus data center across the globe in multiple different countries, you need a huge investment, first of all. Of course, this investment, once you invest the money, once you provide all the cloud services, slowly over the period of time, you will start getting profit. Of course, these companies are very profitable. In fact, cloud is their one of the primary profitable products. Okay, these companies are very well profitable, but they have invested huge money initially, billions of dollars initially, because their capital, these companies' market capitalization is in trillions, not even in billions, trillions, right? So that's why these companies, they're able to invest billions of dollars, and they're able to innovate. They're able to bring latest changes and implement all the changes and best class security, because they invest billions of dollars only for security. Because when there is no proper security, no, you will not gain trust from your customer, right? So definitely, when you don't gain trust from your customer, of course you won't get any business there. So that's also one of the reasons. So our this is one of the reasons. So these are all big companies, and they are okay to invest. Of course, in India also we have big companies, but it is just that the vision that they see. So it is just that they don't want to, they might not want to invest such a huge amount, and if it doesn't work, then they will go to that will become a debt, right? So they don't want to do that. Probably could be a reason. But I personally know an organization, Control S. Maybe you also aware of it. Control S, it is in HYD Hyderabad, in ITech City. So this is actually one of the company. They do a business, Cloud 4C. So this is a business that they do. This is comparatively not a very big organization, but they do a cloud business because they see a vision in it. But of course, they don't have too many data centers. They have only one single data center in Hyderabad, which is Asia's biggest data center. They have only one single data center, which is Asia's biggest data center, and they are able to serve the customers. But again, it will be limited. They're not doing it in a broader way, but they see some future in it, so they're doing it. But other companies, maybe they're trying or not trying, because they're not into limelight as of now, right? So ultimately, to start a cloud business, you need a huge investment to make it very successful. To make it to ensure that it comes in a limelight, they have to invest huge money in each of these aspects, like building a data center, as well as setting up best class security and all these. So uh, so they have to plan all this, invest all the money, then they will start getting profit slowly once the customers moves into the cloud. So the reason security, of course, all these big companies, they are actually big companies, they spend billions of dollars only for security. But a usual normal startup, if you start a startup, do you really think you can get the same best class security? No, right? You have to invest huge money just to hire a security engineer. You'll actually pay 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs rupees. So that is a huge amount, right? But instead, if you go to cloud, if you leverage the cloud. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, now.
Okay, you lost me in middle, is it?
Correct.
Mhm. Okay, so what I'm saying is, these cloud business, they invest huge money, billions of dollars to get a best of security, and we all can leverage that security. Speed, the amount of time it takes, I told you already, to build a server, you're just spending less than an hour. But in those days, back in 15 days, yeah, guys, please, those who are not speaking, please go on mute. So thank you. Um, Back in those days, 15 years ago, if you want to build a server physically, so you have to spend at least 1 month. So you're reducing the time drastically. And productivity. So when Microsoft takes care of the back-end hardware, storage and network and hardware, you can focus on your productivity, whatever your deliverables, like developing a code or installing servers, whatever it is. You can focus on your deliverables, because the underlying hardware is taken care by Microsoft. They ensure that all the hardware is fine, and they ensure about the maintenance, they ensure updates, everything. Then reliability. So all these cloud business, they have the reliability, backup and gas recovery is always in place. So you can also leverage these features for more reliability. You can always enable backup, and you can also do a gas recovery from one region to other regions, and all that you can do. Okay, so let us, in cloud, there are three types of clouds. One is public cloud. Then public cloud is nothing but it is generally available for everyone. So it's public to everyone. Anyone can use it. So example, Microsoft Azure, AWS, GCP, all these cloud products are public clouds only. Then we have got private cloud. Private cloud is something else. It is private to you. So it is your own data center. You set up a cloud and it's private to you. That's why we call it as private. No one can actually access it. No one can actually leverage or use that. Then we have got public hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is actually a combination of both public cloud and private cloud. So combination of, let's say, some organization, they have their own private cloud, their own building, but they also want to expand. So it's just like this. You have your own car, which is private to you. No one can actually take it, right, without your permission. You have your own car. You purchased it. You invest some money. You purchased. You have your own car, but you want to go for a trip. For that, you need two cars, for example. So just for a trip, you can't buy another car, right? Of course, you'll go and rent some car. Probably you'll go to Zoom cars, you'll go to Ola, Uber, or you'll take from some travelers. You'll rent one car and you'll go and come back. So that's like a public. So, but yeah, I mean, nowadays they are all using Ola, Uber, right? So that is actually one of the examples, I would say. Uh, so a hybrid cloud is about combination of private and public cloud. And if you see the differences, if you see the comparison, for public cloud, you're not going to invest any money. To buy a car, you have to invest at least 10 lakh rupees, right? So, but just to use a car, if you just want to go from one place to other place, if you take Ola or Uber, you're spending maybe some hundreds of rupees, right? And applications can be quickly provisioned, and also organizations, we pay only for what we use. We are not let's say from one starting point to end point, whatever the bill that you get, you will pay for that. Okay. And then in private cloud, you are investing the money, you are maintaining it, you are doing everything. So you invest the money, I mean, just for investment, as I said, just to purchase a car, you have to spend 10 lakh rupees. Again, the maintenance charge, fuel charge and everything that you will spend. So here the initial investment will be high. So, but if you look at the normal example, you might be thinking, okay, I mean, based on the example that Shankar has given, I think buying a car is better, right? Instead of renting a Ola Uber. Of course, that is right, because nowadays we see Ola Uber fares are very high, 500, 600. Then you'll think, I think buying a car is better. That's what you'll think. But in a real time in IT, right? If you do a business efficiently, effectively, so you're getting a lot of service at a very, very economical price. So considering those details on IT side, um, using a public cloud is much effective, cost effective. That's what it is proven since last. So AWS has started business in 2006, so it is running successfully since 15 years. Okay. Azure has started 2010. They are also running business since last close to 11 years. So it has already proven that cloud business is doing very well. So that's the reason a lot of organizations are moving towards cloud. Private cloud, where we invest huge money and then complete control in our hands, but at the same time we have the headache of maintaining and managing and installing updates. Hybrid cloud is combination of both. You have your own private cloud where you maintain it, you purchase and all those, and you also want to extend, instead of purchasing a new data center, or if you want to expand, add some additional servers, you will actually use public cloud. Coming to responsibility metrics. So share this. So let's say if you have your own data center, which is a private cloud, you manage everything, starting from storage, network, compute, virtual machine, operating system, runtime, applications, data, and access. Everything will be managed by you because it is your data center. You are responsible. And in cloud, we have three different types of services: IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. In IaaS, storage, network, and compute will be managed by Microsoft, and rest virtual machine, operating system, runtime, and applications and data and access will be managed by customer. In PaaS, these two will be managed by customer, and these will be managed by Microsoft. In SaaS, data and access will be managed by customer, and these will be managed by Microsoft. So as you move towards right, you are noticing that responsibility metrics for customer is reducing while you go towards right? In IaaS, the responsibility, customer will have more control, but at the same time, they also have equal responsibility, more responsibility. On PaaS, customer will have less control. At the same time, they don't have much headache of maintaining this. While you go to SaaS, completely will be managed by Microsoft, or either. So example, if you see, these are here you can see virtual machine. Here you can say web app, AKS, Kubernetes, Docker, all these will come under this. In SaaS, O365 is the best example. If you
So
look
are
at
you
other
sharing any
other
screen, Shankar?
oh, you can't see my screen?
Yeah, I can't see.
Oh, how about this?
Me too, not able to see your screen. I have sent so many messages to you. I mean, 3, 4 messages.
So you're not seeing the screen since beginning itself, is it? Or
Correct.
Yeah, yes,
middle it actually?
yes, from beginning.
Oh, so sorry guys. Just now you called out because I can't see the chart messages. Uh, I don't have that provision to see chart messages because while I'm presenting it, I can only see my presentation. That's why I couldn't read your messages. Just now because you called out, I could actually I realized that my screen is not shared. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll just run through the first starting slides in a minute. Then I will go back to I'll come back to the actual slide. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, now we
Yes,
can see.
Yeah, we can.
Yes. So I discussed about cloud computing. I said cloud computing is a delivery of cloud compute services over the internet. It includes compute, network, and storage, uh, which will actually lead to innovation as well as flexibility of resources as well as economies of scale. Then I talked about cloud computing benefits like such as cost benefits, where you actually get cloud business is very cost effective because of the fact that multiple customers, these companies invest huge money and then they provide these services to multiple customers in them. That's why when you do any business in a pool, so that comes around at a cost effective price. That's the reason cloud business is very cost effective. If you see the bill as well while we are doing you know our demonstration, I'll show you approximate amount that you'll pay on hourly basis for a virtual machine. It will be very cost effective in global scale because you'll be able to reach across the globe because these cloud companies they have actually have data center across the globe. So you can sit in Hyderabad and you can create a virtual machine in US or in Europe, London, anywhere. Performance wise, uh, so these provide better performance because these cloud providers they always try to maintain they'll do a regular maintenance of the hardware as well as they do recycle. After 3 years they change the hardware as well, so they maintain best hardware products so that they gain the trust of the customer. That's how more customers will come into the cloud business. In security, these cloud providers, they invest huge money, billions of dollars only for security to get the best class security, so that we can all leverage speed. The amount of the time it takes for you to create a cloud, it is less than an hour. So for you to create a virtual machine or website in cloud, it takes very less time. In a minute you can create it. But whereas in on-premises in your private data center, at least you have to get approvals, procure the hardware, and do all the setup. It will take a month's time at least. Productivity, because you are renting the services from a cloud provider. Cloud provider will manage all the hardware, underlying hardware, storage, network, and compute, and we can leverage those services. We can only focus on our productivity. The reliability, all these cloud businesses, they have backup, disaster recovery, all these backup, like you can always take a backup. So these cloud providers have a reliability in place, backup and disaster recovery. You can take backups and do a restore. You can also replicate from one region to other region as well. And I talked about public cloud. Public cloud is something which is generally available to everyone. Example, available to everyone in the sense everybody can actually purchase it, can leverage it. So example, Azure, AWS, GCP, these are like public clouds. Then private cloud is about, it is private to you. So it's your own data center. You have your servers and you manage your servers. So no one else can actually leverage or use those servers. Okay, that's about private cloud. Hybrid cloud is a combination of both. Public and private cloud is actually hybrid cloud, combination of both. Then I gave some comparison of public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud. In public cloud, because you're only paying on hourly basis, on a rental basis, there is no initial expenditure, initial investment for you, and you only pay for what you use. That's it. And of course, you'll not have a much control, because it is from you're renting services of a cloud provider. You'll not have control but you get services at an economical price. In private cloud, you have to do initial investment, and you will have full control. You control all the resource and everything. At the same time, when you have a control, you also have a responsibility of hardware maintenance as well as upgrade installation. In hybrid cloud, it offers better security. You choose to keep what you want to keep in your on premises, what you want to have in public cloud. You can actually have some of the important critical sensitive information in your private data center, and some of the not non-sensitive, non-critical or non-sensitive information you can store in a public. This offers some flexibility. You will have your own decision. You will have whatever you will decide what to have in public cloud and what to have in private cloud. And I was talking about shared responsibility. In on-premises, we manage, because on-premises or private cloud, it is cloud for us. We manage, it's our own building, our own servers. We manage everything: storage, network, compute, virtual machine, operating system, runtime, applications, and everything. In IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, in IaaS, Microsoft manage storage, network, and compute, and uh, we manage virtual machine, operating system, runtime, applications, and data and access. So, for example, for IaaS services, virtual machine. So, uh, virtual machine, we manage virtual machine, operating system, and applications and all, but underlying hardware is managed by Microsoft. In PaaS, along with the hardware, Microsoft will also manage operating system, the virtual machine, operating system, and runtime as well. You only have to manage the application. You'll have access on only applications and data and access. So, example for this is web app, web application. You can also, there are a lot of examples, like AKS is also one of the examples, and ACI, Azure Container Instance is one of the examples. Logic App is also other example, and Azure Functions is also one of the examples. In coming to SaaS, here everything will be managed by Microsoft except data and access, which will be in the control of customer. And example for this O365. If you want example for other cloud, you have Gmail. We all use YouTube. These are all actually software services. So these will be developed by cloud providers like Google or Microsoft, and these will be made available to general public. If you want some premium subscription, we have to pay certain amount of money to leverage that, to use that. And in comparison, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, IaaS will have a flexible cloud service because you'll have more control, and but at the same time, you also will have you have to configure and manage the hardware for your application in IaaS. And in PaaS, you can focus on your development because you're not going to manage the hardware. Microsoft will manage it for you. Platform management and completely is handled by cloud provider only. In SaaS, you only just pay as you go. You'll use pay as you go model. Let's say if you take O365, you will purchase E3, E5 licenses, and you'll actually use O365 services. You just pay as you go model, and the users will pay for software only. So, and coming to regions, so how many regions does Microsoft have? So as I said, they have close to 60 plus regions. You see the chart here, the globe, entire globe chart. So you see whatever you see in this color, like completely blue, these are all regions. You have regions across the globe. In India also you have three regions: West India, Central India, South India. And you see there is another symbol which is small dot in the blue. So these are all availability zones. Availability zones, nothing but they have in each zone, each of these zones, you have three data centers in each of these zones. So you have multiple availability zones. Then you have some announced, so upcoming. So you see these are all upcoming regions, and each region will be paired with another region for high availability for just recovery setup. And these companies provide, the more regions that you get from cloud providers, the better latency or performance will be, right? So when your end users are in US, if you have servers in US, you set up your website in the servers so that your end users in US can actually get a better performance and less latency. So can you guess how many regions does AWS has? Anyone who is already working on AWS? How many regions does AWS has? GCP, if you're working on AWS or GCP, fine. Any idea? Microsoft has got 60 plus regions. These are regions. Out of 60 plus, they have some availability zones also, which includes three data centers in each region, close to 100 plus data centers. No one knows? Okay. So AWS has got close to less than 30 regions, and GCP has got less than 15 regions. So they are nowhere nearby Azure as well. So Azure has most number of data centers, compared to any other uh, cloud providers. So when you have more data centers, you can expect more business. And what are the management tools that we use to manage Azure? One is Azure Portal we use. That's whenever whoever is new, we use Azure Portal. Whoever is new, I mean, we'll start with Azure Portal, but once we gain some experience, then we slowly move towards Azure PowerShell and then CLI. Based on your comfortness, if you're comfortable with the PowerShell, you go with comfortable. You go with PowerShell. If you're comfortable with CLI, you go with CLI. Again, which any one of these should be sufficient. You don't have to be expert in both of these. Then you have a Cloud Shell tool, which is a web-based tool. This actually provides. So this web-based tool actually offers both PowerShell and the cloud, PowerShell and CLI installed inside it. And you have a Azure mobile application, Android or iOS application, I believe. So, but this doesn't have a all features. You can actually use it just to start VM, and to run some scripts. You can actually use it, but it is still needs some improvement. And you can use all different REST API tools. You can also use like a ARM template, Terraform to manage Azure Cloud. And so if you want to be aware of the project, like let's say once you learn this, what kind of projects or what kind of work that you'll be doing. So ideally, so this is very sample architecture. So you're given one basic virtual machine with all the components, like with the 3 disks, and then three managed disk with a NSG, and of course public IP address and DNS. This is a very sample, very basic virtual machine architecture. So this is how an architecture will be given to you. You might be asked to create these services. Just an example. If you want to see some complex architecture, may look like this. So where you will be asked to set up a three-tier application, multi-tier application. So which includes web tier, business tier, and SQL Server always on. So this includes a lot of different services. Here you can see Active Directory, BAST, and you also see load balancing for each stage, for each of these tiers. Along with this, you also have a disaster recovery setup where you have the same setup in other region as well, and you are balancing this with a traffic manager, which is global load balancing service, and you are doing a VNet to VNet thing. So this is a typical example for your general day-to-day work life. So you might be given an architecture something like this, and you might be asked to set up the services. Then you have to get the requirements from your customer and start creating these services. And if you want to see a quick glance of all the services, this is a pretty old diagram, but old picture. But it has covered a lot of services. So you deal with portal, Active Directory, and then we deal with in security we deal with these. In compute we deal with here in infra services we deal with all of these: compute, storage, networking, and then website we deal with web apps. Then we also deal with site recovery, import export will discuss, backup will discuss, Azure AD also will discuss, and yeah. So these integration analytics data will be out of scope to Azure, but we'll discuss Key Vault also will discuss, in multi-factor authentication. All these we will discuss. Yeah, ignore this one. This is, as I said, it's an old one. So let's now. You might have a doubt. Why should I learn Azure? Why not AWS or GCP? So this is a study. It's not something I have drawn it. So it is actually as per a study. They have actually identified that they have found out that in last 3 years, from 2017 to till 2019, this is Azure growth. you see pretty steep growth. Okay, so if you see the number, Azure actually has grown 58% annually from 2017, and general cloud skills actually grown 29%. AWS grown 14%. So this is actually AWS that you see. So AWS has some steep curve during this period, but when Azure actually started the business, so AWS curve slowly reduced. So but Azure actually increased. Um, that's what we see. And if you see how Azure has done in during pandemic time, so from September to September 19th to September 20, how it has done. If you want to see in numbers, you can see general cloud skills are down by 30%, and AWS is down by 17%, but Azure is up by 15%. So you can see that chart here. And yeah, as you know, Fortune out of 95% of Fortune 500 companies. When I say 95%, I'm saying 475 companies out of 500 companies, they are actually using cloud business. So they are using cloud business, especially Azure. They are using Azure. I know some of the companies like Coca-Cola, some of the companies they prefer to use multi-cloud, but they're still using Azure, but they prefer to use multi-cloud, Azure along with Azure as well as AWS. But some of the companies like Walmart is fully using Azure only. They don't use AWS because Walmart and AWS they are competitors, right, in e-commerce side. So like AWS has got some competitors also. So they don't use AWS mostly. They'll use Azure or other cloud providers. So that's how it is. And if you see the revenue, this is actually Q1 2021, which is March Q1. So in Q1, and now we are in Q3, I believe. So, but Q1 revenue, if you see, we are almost at the end of Q3. I'm not sure what's the figure right now, but at Q1, AWS share is 32%, Azure is 19%. But I got to know that in Q2, it has actually Q2, Q3 it has increased to 24% somewhere around, and Q3 7 in Q1 GCP is 7%, and other clouds you still have 42% of growth. So this is how it look like. Numbers will look like this, and entire cloud business revenue is $41 billion. $41 billion. But by 2023, cloud business is expected to grow by $500 billion. That's what you're hearing. $500 billion. And this number, right? This number is continuously increasing since 2017. And here, since last 3 years, AWS market share is same, around 30 to 32 only. It has not increased since last 3 years. And yeah, I mean, Microsoft CEO is best CEO, old number one CEO since last years. So it's not just 1 year. He's number one CEO since 3 years. So and Microsoft Satya Nadella clearly claims that uh, Microsoft is a productivity and platform company, and for a mobile first and cloud first world. So he clearly states that cloud is their first business, but AWS or GCP they don't really say, because Google get most profit from YouTube ad revenue. So they don't claim that they are cloud business company. They still say YouTube and ad revenue they get profit from there itself. And Amazon as well. Amazon has got a lot of different products. All these products will have their own different competitors. These competitors will never want to migrate their cloud environment to their competitors cloud provider. They prefer to go with a different cloud provider. Microsoft is a pure IT company, so they come to Microsoft, which is very likely an assumption I can say. And in 20 before 2014, when Microsoft the CEO Satya was not CEO, we have Microsoft have Steve Ballmer. He is the CEO. He is one of the co-founder of Microsoft. What he says that he loves Windows. He hates Linux. This is his statement. Okay, that is one of the reasons Microsoft is in very pretty bad condition in those days, in those years. Then when Microsoft became Satya became CEO, his statement is that Microsoft loves Linux. That's a tweet that you can see. Microsoft loves Linux. That is how the future, because we have out of top 500 supercomputers, 498 computers for Linux only, right? So when you have huge Linux business, if you don't accept Linux business, your company will never grow. So that is something Microsoft understood, and they clearly mentioned that they love Linux. Then that's how they cloud business also grown very drastically. Trust me or not, if right now 51 percentage of the compute cores in Azure are Linux, 49 percentage are Windows. Although Windows is a Microsoft product, but 51 percentage is Linux right now. Okay, coming to, yeah, we covered theory, but let's actually discuss what I'm going to cover as part of this course. So how it is scheduled and what is the content and all. So we'll cover, this is scheduled as 11 modules. This is the official curriculum from Microsoft for Azure Administrator. But along with this, I also added some of the additional components, like some bonus topics, which I will cover. So in outline, uh, official curriculum, we have got virtual machine scale set. I'll discuss about Azure PowerShell, CLI, Cloud Shell, ARM templates, and I will discuss about Azure Virtual Network, NSDs, Azure Firewall, DNS, Azure Blobs, files, file syncs, Storage Explorer, Azure Copy, AZ Copy, metrics, log analytics, alerts, and network watcher. Then app in past services, app service, containers, Kubernetes, I will cover. In Azure Active Directory side, I'll cover Azure Active Directory, users and groups. And in module 8, we'll cover Azure Files Backup, Virtual Machines Backup, and Site Recovery I'll cover. And site-to-site connectivity from on-prem to hybrid connectivity, site-to-site, point-to-site, express route connectivity, VNet peering, and virtual WAN also I will cover. And then Azure Load Balancer and Application Gateway. These two are load balancing services I'll cover. And Azure subscriptions, policies, tags, RBAC for compliance and governance perspective, I'll cover these. So this is the official curriculum from Microsoft. We are going to cover complete curriculum. So this is a certification oriented course as well. So along with those, whatever I've discussed, I'm going to cover additional topics as a bonus, which is Azure AD Connect, which is not part of Azure Administrator, and Traffic Manager. So here I said I'm going to cover load balancer and application gateway. These are the two load balancing services. In Azure, we have got four load balancing services: load balancer, application gateway, traffic manager, Azure front door. So along with these two, I'm also covering traffic manager here. Then I will also cover Terraform. Here I said I'll cover uh, PowerShell, CLI, Cloud Shell, ARM templates. Along with ARM templates, I'm also covering Terraform basics. Then yeah, this please ignore. And then Azure migration, like how do you migrate from on-premises to Azure? So you can using Azure Migrate. So I'm not sure whether you guys are actually are aware of it or not. Like how do we migrate servers from on-premises to Azure? That is also I will show you in a demonstration. Then we'll discuss about Azure Key Vault, which is a another service which actually will help storing secrets and keys. Then Azure Security Center I will cover, and Azure Sentinel. These two are specific to security. I will cover Azure Sentinel. Then also from DevOps side, I will also cover Azure pipelines. So we have from DevOps perspective, like just to give some basics, Azure pipelines we are covering. We are covering Azure pipelines, and we are also covering Terraform. We are covering AKS, app services, and ACI, Azure Container Instance. These are the services which are related to DevOps oriented. So this is just to give you some basics, so that in the interview you will not be a blank when they ask some DevOps. You at least say you have some basics that will give you some edge in clearing interview. Having, of course, you're gaining complete administrative knowledge, but along with that, if you have some at least minimum basics of DevOps, that will give you an edge in clearing the interview and also while working. So once you enter, probably if there is a requirement, you will learn it later, but that will give you it will give you a better opportunity for you to get on. So these are the topics that I'm going to cover. So you might be wondering what are these basically. So see, ideally in Azure we have a lot of certifications. AZ 104 is a administration oriented. Then we have 305 architect. Then we have 400 DevOps. Then we have 500 security. So these are the important certifications in Azure. Okay. So what I have done is 104 they are covering completely administration oriented. From 305 from architect I bought this migration. Okay, important one. I bought this Azure AD Connect, which is another important. I bought this Traffic Manager. So these are the important concepts in 305. I actually included in 104. Then in 400, Terraform we have got, and then Azure Pipelines also we have got. So I actually bought these two and added in this. Then in 500, we have Security Center, Sentinel, and Key Vault, these three services. From 500, I bought in 104. So that's how we have customized the course so that you don't really have to attend multiple courses like for 305, 400, 500. So with this one single course, you gain all common important services. Okay, that's the idea. Again, so you might have questions like I'm completely unaware what this Azure is, and what cloud is, and will I be able to learn or not. So to learn this, you don't need any experience first of all. So whether you are a fresher, whether you're already working professional but you are not aware of any Azure, so there is no experience required for you. All you need is a commitment. Okay, so you should have some commitment for learning. You have to spend some quality timing. You have to see. For me, you have to be very interactive. So when you have a doubt, you should really call out and say. So see, today is an example. Today, unfortunately, my screen is something not visible to you guys, but you guys are actually testing me in chat. I totally understand. But if you could have called out at the first instant and within first few minutes itself, that would have been very better, right? So what I'm trying to say is being interactive is very important. So when you ask questions, only then you know some additional details. So if you until unless you don't ask questions, you will not know those additional details. See, you're going to attempt an interview. In interview, if you don't say anything, will they accept you? No, right? When you so to answer an interview, this is the best place for you to talk, right? So this is a forum where you have group of people. If you can talk whatever you feel, you can share your thoughts, you can ask questions, be interactive. So that's what I look for. And especially join with a laptop when you actually join a course. Don't join with a mobile as such. Because while I'm doing some demonstration, you also can practice it. And then you might have think like any prerequisites that are required. So actually, there are no prerequisites required. You don't need to learn anything. You can directly join this course. I will start from very ground level, like very basic level, and then we'll try to get you onto speed, and then we'll actually take it from there. That's about it. And yeah, that's about it. All I need is like you need one laptop is one thing, and if you have a credit card, I will actually show you how to get a Azure free trial subscription. Free trial subscription. Even if you don't have a credit card, I will figure out a way. No problem there. I will give you some links to do some practice and all. So laptop is something required for you to join the course that I strongly recommend. That's it. So nothing much. All you should have is commitment for learning. That's it. So that's the end of it. Any questions?
So what would be the course duration, Shankar?
That's a good question. So course duration would be close to 40 days. So 40 days is what we are estimating. So it will be like yeah, that's a good question actually. So I so what I'm planning is, I hope you can see my screen, right? Still, because just a cross check. Because for me
Yes,
it
yes.
looks like a screen is shared only, but sometimes, come on, yeah, sometimes it may not be visible to you. So that's what ideally how this is scheduled is uh, the entire course. We are actually estimating 40 days. If you ask me in hours, I would say 30 to 32 hours. I can give you this rough estimate, but this will go plus or minus 10%. For all my courses, I say this plus or minus 10%. So let's say if I'm estimating somewhere around 30 hours to 32 hours, it could actually, of course, it will never end in 27 hours for sure. This is for sure. It will take extra only, probably 33 to 35 hours. I will finish my course. Okay. So with a detailed demonstration, and also another thing I want to tell you, uh, all my courses like be DevOps or Azure, I actually do 35 percentage presentation, like theory, 65 percentage demonstration. Sometimes for some courses, this 35 will go up to 40, but will never increase beyond that. This will come down to 60. So mostly, in the worst case, 40 by 60 is what you expect from me. Demonstration is a, uh, I'm more inclined towards demonstration. I do a lot of demonstration, but at the same time, I also balance the presentation theory as well. That's what I plan.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hello, sir.
yes,
Laptop
yes,
need
I
which
can hear you.
configuration? Sir, laptop need which
Configuration,
configuration?
yeah, i3 processor minimum, and
IP
4G
processor.
4 GB RAM. Yeah, 4 GB RAM is sufficient. Minimum. This is sufficient.
Okay, sir. IP processor.
i3
Hello.
processor, 4 GB RAM. Hello,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Okay, sir. Yeah, yes.
i3 processor, 4 GB RAM. These two should be sufficient.
Okay, sir. This course need any, I mean, basic knowledge, basics in computing.
No, not
Cloud.
required.
I
No,
mean,
not
any
required.
other related to language like C plus, like
No, not required. Not required.
not required. Okay, I mean basics MS Office like any requirement.
No, you don't need any MS Office knowledge for this.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Demonstration means practicing only, na?
Sorry. Demonstration in the sense. See, I will log
Practicing
into the
only, na?
portal.
On the tool.
Yeah, I will log into Azure portal and I will show you everything. Then also I will give you assignments for you guys to do some practice. I will give you some labs. I have designed some 15 to 16 labs. Like each lab is like a mini project only.
Okay.
Each lab is a mini project. So these assignments I will give you as a homework, and you have to finish this. I also will give some assignments. So first I will present the demonstration. Then first I will present the presentation. Then I will show you a demonstration. I will share my screen. I will log into the portal. I will explain what to do, what not to do, and all these things. While I'm discussing, I will also tell you some of the interview questions because I do attend interviews. I do take interviews. I will tell some of the interview questions as well. And then you have to make a note. I don't provide any separate interview questions list as such. You have to make a note while I'm delivering the interview question. Anything. And then, of course, for the material I will provide you, this course material I provide you, but no separate interview questions will be provided to you. Okay. And yeah, so I think you asked demonstration, right?
What
I will show
about?
you, and then yeah.
Tell me, continue, Hankar.
So I will show you the demonstration. Then I will also give you some labs to you with the detailed lab instructions. I will ask you all to complete those labs as a homework.
Okay, Shankar. What about recordings? Will you give for me for that?
Yeah. Recordings are available. We'll give the recordings.
Okay. Is it close classes are only weekends or weekdays also?
This is only weekends, sir. So this
Sir,
batch will start Monday onwards, Monday to Friday, morning 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. 7 a.m.
not
to
this.
8 a.m. morning.
This is only for only
Yeah,
weekdays, na?
only weekdays.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, so if no other questions, we'll wind up for today. And I think the course will start on Monday, 7 a.m. I think Career ID team will actually share you the link and all. Please do join on Monday. And Monday will actually cover some basic concepts. And then initial few days will cover basic concepts. And then we'll move on to Azure topics. Okay, thank you all. Take care, stay safe. See you on Monday then. tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.